Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be driving you through the ghetto hoods of Lagos, Nigeria and letting you in on the hustles, bustles and daily lives of Lagosians living in the hood. So get your popcorns ready, sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. Hit the red subscribe button showing on your screen if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell right beside it to get notified whenever I make a new upload. So Wode Maya inspired me to create this vlog about my hood. On a norm, I would never have wanted to vlog about my hood because it's not so much of a beautiful place. But Wode Maya has shown that the beauty of Africa is beyond what we see. It's more in what we do not see. And this has inspired me to tell the African story from the African perspective, rather than what the media or Western world portray about us. Well, my stories may involve not just the good but the not so good, but it promises to be a beautiful one. Well, if you do not know this Wode Maya I'm talking about, I would leave a link to him in my description below and on the iCard showing on your screen. You really need to check him out. He is Africa's next big thing. So this is Lagos, the city of hustle and bustle. There is no dawn or dusk in Lagos. Lagos is a city that never sleeps. As early as 1 a.m., 2 a.m., you see people already hitting the road. Everyone is always up and about their business. 247, 365. And this is not just the lifestyle of an adult. Kids too are involved in this. Kids wake up as early as 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to get dressed for school and to enable their parents also get dressed for work. And even kids younger than 2 that probably haven't started school already get dressed to go to the daycare or go along with their parents to work or something. The hustle starts from the smallest person to the biggest. There's nobody that escapes this. Lagos is one city that gets you up on your toes. It's a city for the strong-willed and strong-hearted. Like, no lazy man space for Lagos. It's also a city packed with activities. Like, you can't go bored in Lagos State. There is always some place to go and something to do. Nightlife in Lagos is off the roof. Lagos has a market for everyone. Regardless of what you do, what you sell, your services, you will always get a marketplace in Lagos. Reason because 1, it is actually overpopulated. So out of the millions of people living in Lagos, you're definitely going to see at least one person in need of your service, no matter how rare your kind of service is. And then it's also a marketplace for people living outside Lagos. Like, you see people coming into Lagos to get things and then going back to their states or country or wherever to sell them. And Lagos is a land filled with opportunities. Now, your ability to harness these opportunities determines whether you're actually going to succeed in Lagos or not. There is always an opportunity lurking somewhere, waiting for someone to grasp it. So you really have to shine your eyes and be on the lookout for it. Lagos is also a land where you're able to connect and socialize. You have most of the big guys living in Lagos. So if you're the type that is usually outgoing, you might have come across them in one event or someplace. And if you're able to connect with them, lucky you. And also for job seekers too, Lagos is some place you can get something to do. But the bad thing to it is that it's usually a limited slot and then you have many people vying for it. So you can have like 10,000 people for a position of probably 10 people. And that can really be frustrating at times. Especially when you went through the rigors of interviews and all. And at the end of the day, you don't get called up. It can really be disheartening and heartbreaking. So basically, one thing I really like about Lagos State is the industrial spirit of its indigents. Like, people are always going about their business. Everybody has something to keep them busy with. Nobody actually waits for the white collar jobs anymore. We create our own kind of hustle. The typical Lagos spirit is an entrepreneurial spirit. Everybody has something to sell, which makes me wonder if everyone is selling, who's actually buying? Lagos State is a city like every other city, which has the ghetto and the urban areas, more or less classified as the mainland and the island. The mainland being the ghetto area, of course, and then the island being the urban. And don't get me wrong, the mainland also have the beautiful places in it, but this is just a drive through the unplanned settlement of the mainland. I must confess though, this is actually my hood. Yeah, you can call me a ghetto girl. But then I'll choose the mainland over the island 1,000 times, although it might not really be as beautiful as the island. This is because, aside the fact that the island has a good road network and a beautiful serene, every other thing doesn't sit well with me. The mainland for me is the heart of Lagos. My only wish is that the government would pump in as much money into the mainland as it does in planning the island. So many parts of the mainland has been overlooked by the government and is in such a bad and dilapidated condition. Especially the drainage system. The drainage system is nothing to write home about. I think the island also have an issue with the drainage system. I don't know, I don't live there. But the mainland for sure has a poor drainage system. Whenever it rains, it is flooded. There is nowhere for the water to go. It just gets stuck in one place and creates a whole lot of mess. And this breeds mosquitoes and sesafly and all those pests that comes along with stagnant water. And so also the sickness and ailments that comes along with the pest. Having malaria now is more or less like having a headache, and that's really, really bad. I really feel the government needs to step in and do something about this. And then the housing system or mechanism or whatever is totally unplanned. Like everything is just packed together. Like there is no space between one house and another. It's all jam-packed. I mean, people need space to breathe. Haba. There is no ventilation at all. Like housing does not give room for ventilation. It's just all packed together, and it's really, really bad because, of course, it comes with its own consequences too. I know Lagos is totally overpopulated. Like you have a whole lot of people living in Lagos, and then you have few space to cater for the people living in Lagos. But then I don't know, something really has to be done about spacing between houses, because I mean it could lead to something else more disastrous. The security in places like this is actually in the hands of Jesus Christ, I must say. Like, security is next to nothing. The police is just more or less like a figurehead. Usually, each street just take care of their own security by forming vigilante groups or employing people that would keep a night watch or something. And that's just how security is done in this part of Lagos. Like there is no standard security system. It's all crap. It is actually not my intent to bash the mainland in Lagos State, Nigeria or anything, but I feel issues like this should be discussed too. In as much as we try to promote the good and the beautiful, we also need to trash out certain issues that is of concern, great concern to inhabitants of areas like this. Your environment plays a huge role in determining your quality of life, in determining your health status at all. So the environment is key. It's really, really important. And living in a place like this is a no good. It does no good to the inhabitants. So let's get away from the negatives and talk more about the positives. Yeah, the light at the end of the tunnel. So, the mainland has good water compared to the island. I think the island is just filled with salt water and muddy water and all, but the mainland has good clean water, at least to an extent. But most times, due to the power shortage and the failure of the water corporation to make water available in houses, we would have to travel to get good water. So, the power connection system in the mainland scares the hell out of me sometimes. I mean, most times actually. You see large chunks of wire all muddled up together, passing through the frontage of a person's house or shop or something. And this is a super scary sight to see, I must say. I mean, people stand the risk of getting electrocuted. I mean, it's not a joke at all. We usually show less concern to things that are of importance. The parking system here is crappy, I must say. I mean, the road on its own was not built to such a wide capacity. The roads are usually very narrow, and then you have cars parked on one side of the road, making the already small space smaller. This is totally a no brainer. I mean, it makes no sense at all. And yeah, I haven't even gotten to the juicy part of the gist yet. The mainland is filled with crazy people. By crazy, I mean crazy, crazy people. Not insane or mad kind of crazy, but just crazy. The people on the mainland have no chill at all whatsoever. I mean, you don't want to mess with people on the mainland, believe me. Even if they slap you, just do what the Bible says. Turn the next cheek. Everybody is just angry, like the angry bird kind of angry. And it's more like they're just waiting for who to unleash the anger on. I'm not saying though that you don't find friendly people on the mainland. Of course, you will find a whole lot of friendly people living on the mainland, but the street is just hot. Like, the friendly ones are probably the ones chilling one corner or something. Once they get up on the streets, it's a different ball game altogether. The danfo drivers, as we call them, the ones who drive the yellow buses, are the craziest of them all. So living in Lagos generally gets you crazy. Like, you just have to be mad to be able to survive in Lagos. There is no room for being gentle in Lagos. It's more or less like a coping mechanism people have developed to be able to survive. Power supply in Lagos State, Nigeria is kind of crappy, I must say. Of course, we do not have uninterrupted power supply in Nigeria, but for Lagos, the situation is kind of crazy. Like, power is a luxury for indigenes of Lagos State, people living in Lagos State. I feel it's because so many people are living in Lagos and the power resource is kind of limited. I've been opportune to live outside Lagos in the north and some other parts of Nigeria, and relatively I think their power supply is kind of better. And whenever it rains, like, that is it, no power, like a complete blackout. In some areas though, not all areas. Reason because the power connection, like I said earlier on, is kind of crappy, and then the rain just makes it worse. And the power officials are usually quick to cut the lights whenever you're owing your bills, but you don't get the same vibe from them whenever you call them to fix the situation. I mean, it's really, really crazy and terrible at times. Power supply is one thing I really hope, yearn, and pray we get right in this country, not just Lagos State, but in the country at large. Because once you get power right, everything falls into place. House rent in Lagos is usually high compared to other states, but food is cheap, so it kind of balances everything out. Lagos is home to some of the best primary and secondary schools in the country, both public and private. So when you reside in Lagos, giving your children quality education is not a hurricane tax. When you live in Lagos, you are connected to the world. The presence of the international airport in Lagos, where you can book flights to any city and jet out in the shortest possible time, and two seaports where you can order goods from any part of the world and it gets to you in no time. Lagos mainland is full of comedy that you can never experience in any other city, believe me. The comedy is woven in our everyday life and the city scenes. The transport hustle, the street vendors, the area boys, what we call agbero, and the bus conductors shouting destinations, each with his own distinctive funny tune, spectacular street dance performances, and much more. All these scenes puts a smile on Lagosians' faces. I would let you in on all this in my subsequent videos, so go ahead and subscribe now and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out. Pidgin English is Nigeria's most common way of expression which everyone can speak and understand. Besides Warri and Port Harcourt, Lagos is a place where Pidgin English is the number one common form of expression. This language breaks ethnical barriers and it's a very interesting one to converse in. Lagos street food have a distinctive flavor that will be difficult to get elsewhere. The most popular one, which is a barbecue meat known as suya, can be found at every corner of the street, especially at night. I kind of wonder sometimes why it's usually at night though. The famous agege bread can also be found on the streets of Lagos. Believe me, if you try ewa agoyin and agege bread, you will never have burger in your life again. Other street food includes akara, bole, puff puff, abojedi. The list is just endless. Lagos can also be described as the Jerusalem of Africa, with millions of visitors trooping in yearly to visit holy grounds such as the Redemption Camp, Prayer City, Synagogue Church of All Nations, Winners Chapel, Shiloh, and a host of other churches. The residents have a regular access to these holy grounds, unlike foreigners who will have to pay so much to set their foot in. So if you're a Christian residing in Lagos and you would love to attend programs held in these holy grounds, lucky you. Share your thoughts with me in the comment section below. What is your Lagos experience like, or your Nigerian experience in general? And if there's anything I've left out, I would show that in the part 2 of this video, and I will also do an island edition of this. So share this video to family and friends who would want to know what the Lagos life is like. So if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, now is the perfect moment to do that. Go ahead and hit the red subscribe button showing on your screen. Turn on the notification bell right beside it so you get notified whenever I post a new video, and give me a thumbs up if you found any value whatsoever from this video. Click on the next video showing on your screen and I will see you there.